My stepdaughter told me I was nothing to her, so I stopped paying her college tuition, and now I'm the villain. Hello, Reddit I plus here. For context, I 46M married my wife Carla 45F when her daughter Maya was 12. Maya's biological dad has never really been in the picture. He left when she was little, popped in and out with birthday cards or last-minute holiday calls, but never actually parented her. I never tried to replace him. I knew that wasn't my place, but I was always there. From the moment I married her mom, I showed up. Every school play, every awards ceremony, tutoring sessions when she was struggling. I was the one who taught her how to drive, the one who stayed up helping her study for her SATs. I never insisted she call me dad. In fact, I discouraged it because I didn't want to pressure her. But deep down, I hoped that one day she might see me as more than just her mom's husband. Fast forward, Maya got into a pretty prestigious out-of-state university, her dream school. She was ecstatic. Carla and I talked it over and agreed to cover all her college expenses so she wouldn't be burdened with debt. We didn't make a huge show of it. We just sat her down, said we were proud of her, and that we had her covered. She cried. She hugged Carla. She said thank you. She gave me a small smile and said, "Thanks. I appreciate it." It wasn't much, but it meant something to me. The first year went okay. She didn't communicate much with me, but that was normal. She stayed in touch with Carla, updated her on classes and friends and her dorm drama. I heard about her mostly through my wife. I sent her money every semester without issue. Then came Thanksgiving of her second year. She came home with her new boyfriend, some cocky pre-law guy who clearly loved the sound of his own voice. He introduced himself to me, then immediately began talking about how hard Maya worked and how her parents must be so proud. I smiled and said nothing, but Maya cut in and introduced me as Carla's husband. That's it, no stepdad, not even my name, just Carla's husband. It stung, but I let it go in the moment. Later that night, I gently brought it up to her. I told her I wasn't asking for anything. I just said that being referred to like I was some stranger felt cold after everything we'd been through. She didn't miss a beat. She looked me straight in the eye and said, "Well, that's what you are. You're not my dad. You're my mom's husband. You're nothing to me, really." I honestly felt like the floor dropped out from under me. I didn't respond, just walked outside and sat on the porch for a long time. When I told Carla, she was visibly shaken. She went to talk to Maya. Later, Carla came to me and said Maya was just being emotional, and that kids say things they don't mean. I wanted to believe that, but I couldn't shake the words. "You're nothing to me." A week later, I called the university and pulled out of the tuition payments. The next semester's bill was due in 3 weeks. I didn't say a word to Maya. I figured if I meant nothing to her, then surely my money should mean nothing too. 2 weeks go by. Maya calls Carla in a panic. She needs over $14,000 to cover her tuition, or she'll be locked out of registration and housing. Carla was blindsided. She doesn't make that kind of money on her own. Maya begged her to ask me to reconsider. Carla came to me and pleaded. I calmly explained that I was done being a silent ATM for someone who openly disrespected me and saw me as irrelevant. If I truly meant nothing to Maya, then she shouldn't have a problem accepting $0 from me. That night turned into one of the worst fights Carla and I have ever had. She accused me of being vindictive, of abandoning her daughter, of punishing her for speaking her truth. I told her I wasn't punishing anyone. I was simply no longer offering myself to someone who clearly didn't want me in her life. Maya ended up dropping out for the semester. She didn't call, didn't apologize, nothing. Then came the real bombshell. She came home unexpectedly in April. I walked into the kitchen and found her sitting at the counter, arms crossed. She immediately went on the attack. "You ruined my future. I had to drop out because of you. You're a bitter, selfish man, and I knew you'd use money to control me." I was stunned. I asked her calmly, "Is that why you're here? To guilt-trip me for not funding your degree after you told me I meant nothing to you?" She kept going, claiming I ruined her chances of graduating on time, that I humiliated her, that her friends were all moving on while she was stuck at home. That's when Carla finally snapped. "Don't you dare stand here and pretend this is about tuition. Tell him the truth." Maya went silent. Her face froze. Carla turned to me and said she didn't drop out because of the money. She got caught plagiarizing. She was already on academic probation. They gave her one last chance to finish the semester and retake the course over summer, but only if she paid up front. That's why she came back. I looked at Maya and she just said, "You weren't supposed to tell him that." So yeah, the truth unraveled. The straight-A student was actually struggling. The perfect daughter had been cheating, and the person she called nothing was the one she expected to bail her out. Again. And now, after everything, I'm still the villain. Maya hasn't spoken to me since. Carla is cold with me. We're doing marriage counseling now, but things are strained. She keeps saying, "You knew she didn't mean it," and I keep asking, then why didn't she apologize? Some of my friends say I did the right thing by pulling support. Others say I should have just paid and saved the drama. That withholding tuition was crossing a line, but I just couldn't keep funding someone who could look me in the eye and say I was nothing, then only come back when she needed a check. So Reddit I+, I don't know. Am I really the villain here? Carla and I kept going for about 6 weeks. It was brutal. Every session turned into an argument about Maya, and I kept hearing the same line. She's just a kid. She made a mistake. You're the adult. You should know better. I was being asked to forgive and forget something that never got an apology. Meanwhile, Maya still hadn't said a word to me. Not one. She lived in our house, walked past me in the hall like I was furniture, and barely acknowledged I existed. I told the therapist one day, if I'm nothing to her, why am I the one expected to fix this? He said, that's a good question. Why are you? It hit me harder than I expected. Then came the second bombshell. 2 weeks ago, I got home from work early and found Maya in the kitchen with her laptop open and phone on speaker. She didn't realize I was home yet. I was about to call out when I heard her say, "He's such a loser. My mom's husband is still sulking because I hurt his feelings. Like, grow up. He's lucky I let him pay for anything. I literally had to pretend to care about him for years just to get through high school. Now he's mad I don't want to play daughter anymore." I stood there, frozen. I don't think she heard me walk in. I backed out quietly, went upstairs, and sat on the edge of the bed in silence for a long time. That night, I didn't say anything. I just shut down emotionally. Carla noticed something was off, but didn't press, until I showed her the recording. Yes, I recorded it. I hit the record button on my phone the second I heard her start trashing me. I debated whether it was wrong, but then I thought, if I'm being manipulated, I need the truth to be seen. I played it for Carla the next day. She didn't say a word the entire time, just stared at the wall, pale as a ghost. When it ended, she whispered, "She doesn't mean that." I said, "Yes, she does." We didn't talk for the rest of the day. The next morning, Carla finally admitted she'd been making excuses for Maya for years, because deep down, she knew Maya didn't see me as family, but was too afraid to confront it. She thought if she pretended everything was fine, Maya would come around someday. Then she said something that broke me a little. Maybe I pushed her to accept you, even when she didn't want to. And now she resents you more because of it. So let me get this straight. I gave this girl everything. Time, energy, love, money. I walked on eggshells to avoid pressuring her. I gave her the freedom to define our relationship. And now she resents me for being there. Cool. Here's where things stand now. Maya has moved out. Carla told her she could no longer live in our house while treating me like garbage. The conversation got ugly, but Maya packed her things and left. I told Carla I need time. I'm not filing for divorce. Not yet. But I asked her to stay with her sister for a couple weeks while I clear my head. I'm going to therapy alone now. I've got a lot to unpack. Years of being the good guy, the helper, the stepdad, who never pushed, but always paid. Turns out being the backup parent means people expect your loyalty, but not your feelings. The hardest part? I loved that girl. I didn't raise her to expect praise. I raised her because I wanted to, because I believed in her. And now I feel like I was just a stepping stone to her, something to use until she got where she wanted, and discard once I had no more value. I don't know what the future holds. But I know one thing. If you're going to tell someone they mean nothing to you, don't expect their support to mean something later.